This is a little 2-day update on the Cape Wrath Trail, or my bit of it. So yesterday I set off from Glenfinnan and walked to near actual Brothy and stopped in the tent overnight there. I had a good day, it was nice weather. Talked to some people, had lunch with a girl from Australia, and I had a pretty reasonable night. Today, slightly different, as you can tell. It's raining, it's windy, and it's a bit grim. And to be honest, I've stopped here because at 4:30 I decided I'd had enough. I was tired. I'd done 22 kilometres, and there was a good 8-10 kilometres to go to Barrisdale. So I just thought, this is not really going to be good. I knew that I had a climb up into the Bialak and then a walk out. And so I decided to stop here. And I've managed to find myself a little spot which is slightly sheltered, although I have the feeling that I have managed to camp myself in a deer area where they sleep, which is a bit of a problem in as much as I think I've picked up some ticks. I know I've picked up some ticks, and I think that might be the reason, so I'm just got to keep an eye on that. But to be honest, I'm beyond being able to move tonight. It's it's raining, it's wet. Every time you move, everything's wet. If you look at the pad, just doing anything and leaning on it is making it wet. I'm trying to protect the sleeping bag at the moment, but everything is just, it's just, this sort of weather is grim, and sort of makes you lose the will to live a little bit. So there we go. So that's it so far. My first 40 kilometres on the Cape Wrath Trail, and it's been good. Get off in the morning and head down into Barrisdale, and then probably carry on to Kinlochhorn or somewhere like that. Hopefully get a bit of mileage. Whew. So this is day 3, and you can see behind me the most spectacular views. I'm just coming up most of the way up Lane. I've come up past the steep bit, and I'm on the track bit now, so it's just winding up and down the hill. You can see it going around the little ridge there. There's the moon. So last night was pretty tough. Last night was grim and miserable, and having backtracked on myself, by the time I got back to my bag, I was pretty tired. And then having talked to somebody else about stopping the track, it sort of put that into my head as well. And so I sort of felt like I'd done enough for the day. I'd done 22 kilometres, and I was a bit knackered and in need of a sit down, and it was starting to rain. So I managed to find my tent and set it up, as I said in the other video, and sat there and just decided that I would probably pull out of this at Morvich or Shield Bridge, and I've got plans about how I feel about that, getting closer. I've got another 2 days to go. I've got another 40 kilometres to go, and to be honest, if the weather was like it is today, it's fine. If it's grim and rainy, it's just an awful shit to pack everything up and keep everything dry, and it's just miserable. And I did sleep pretty well last night, despite everything. So having struggled up this hill and this weather, I sort of feel a bit better, but I'm still aware that I've got two more full days of walking to go. So I need to actually crack on and get on with it today, and hopefully make a bit better mileage than what I did yesterday. But just looking down at that, that's just spectacular, and it's just just so beautiful, and you just think it's so lovely to be out here, although it's a hard old trek. But there's a path, I've just joined a path that's been here for years, clearly. You can see it snaking off down on the west side of that valley there. And on the other side there's another one that's not even on the map. So this is really remote out here, but it's clear that there is remnants of traverses and travels that have been done in this area before. These are old sheep paths, or communication paths for different communities, and they may not be in use now, but they have been in use before, and actually it doesn't take too much footfall to bring them back into a reasonable state. Anyway, so that's enough yapping. I need to get on and get some miles in. So feeling a bit better this morning, but I'm still aware that I've got 2 more days, and breakfast was fucking awful. It was, yeah. And I've made up my porridge mix, and it's not the usual porridge that I use, and I put nuts in it, and it just is foul. And I've had 1 foul dinner and 2 foul breakfasts, and I think I've got another 2 foul breakfasts to come. Anyway, time to crack on. What a gorgeous day. This is Barrisdale. I've just left Barrisdale Bothy, and it's just beautiful. It's even a bit warm. I wish it was a little bit cooler. It's sunny, it's still, just a little breeze to keep the midges away. It's so nice. But I just had lunch at Barrisdale, and look at the pack. The pack feels a lot more compact than it was. Everything seems to be here, but it just seems to be so much more compact. It feels like I've left a whole bag or the tent. So, miracle. So this is me for the night. Up above Kinloch Horn today. So this is day 3. And it's been a much better day because it's been sunny and it hasn't been raining, and I haven't had quite so many ticks. And then got to Barrisdale, which had a sink and a toilet and everything, and a whole bunch of toiletries and stuff like that. So I washed out my socks and my cloth and put them on the back of the pack, and they've dried. I was hoping or thinking of staying at Kinloch Horn, because there's a cafe and a restaurant, but I thought if they did food, then that would sort of take the pressure off me, because I've got 1 more day's food and a little bit left, and I'm not sure quite how far it is. So 20 kilometers seems to be about the limit of what I can do. 20 kilometers in this sort of terrain is pretty exhausting, because I was knackered coming up the hill from Kinloch Horn, and it's only a 200-meter climb. I know that I've got a climb tomorrow, and the Bealac next to the Falkland Ridge, and that's 750 meters. So yes, I've got that to look forward to. So I was sort of thinking that I wasn't sure whether I was actually going to make it, and whether I should actually split this next bit into 2 days. But I think I should be okay, because from here I can actually see the saddle. So out there is the saddle. It's sort of obscured by the close hill, but it's there. I've seen it, so I know that it's, within visible distance. I know I've got to climb down from here and then back up, and then there's quite a big climb tomorrow. So it's going to be a tough day, but and I'll be late into the campground, but that's okay. And then I've got a resupply box from the Kintail stores. So I will have food, and I can buy something from them as well. And I might even treat myself to a bottle of wine or something. And then I make a decision about whether I carry on and at least do the bit to Strathcarron, because that's the bit that goes out of Morvich to the east and down that valley. And I really want to, go through there, and because it just looks so nice. But we will see. I still, in my head, am thinking about bailing at Shield Bridge, and I need to think about it, and actually, if I'm going to do it, I need to get it in my head that I don't bail at Shield Bridge, and that I have got a plan active in my head, that I'm actually going to do it, because I've made all the plans for it. I know I can do it. I've got the supplies, I've got the equipment, everything's working well. I just need to maybe change my mindset for it, because I sort of, after yesterday, I feel like I got into the set of I'm gonna stop. I now need to think about the fact that I might not stop. Anyway, so time to eat some dinner, I think, and enjoy the evening. I'm going to have my Blaban carbonara tonight. So I'll have the pasta carbonara. Hopefully that's better than the one I had the other night. And then I've got a Angel Delight for later. 7:57. Nice start, nice early start. Heading for the saddle, the Forkhand Ridge, and then into Shield Bridge, and then decide what I'm going to do next. Last night was good. I had a nice flat campsite next to the river, so it's quite good, and for the most part it was midge free. It got a bit midgy as the sun set, but I was in the tent and just zipped it up and kept it zipped up. So had a reasonably good night. Slept well, no cramps, yay, and ready to go today. So today should be one more day. I've got enough food to get me through the Shield Bridge, and to be honest, if I had to camp out again tonight, I could live on ensure shakes and the little snack bars that I've got left, but I think I'll make it today. So yeah, so good day. That's the creek, or the burn, as that I was camping by last night, and so I'm off for a nice early start at 8 a.m.